Hi, and oh, good, the color quality is a little better. Hi, and welcome to the Pen Hook and Needles podcast. Today is St. Patrick's Day,
March 19th. No, March 17th. Friday.
17th.
17th. Why do I feel like it's the 18th?
I have no idea.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
It's St. Patrick's Day. So we are wearing our green, even
Because
though
St. Patrick is really Italian.
oh, this doesn't look like green, but it really is.
Well, it looks like green. It's just brighter than that.
Yeah, and this is a nice foresty green.
Yeah. This is more of a Kelly green in real life.
Not a Kelly.
Well, it's close.
It's
Crayola green.
It's like an oceanic green.
It's faded. This is old, like 20 years old. Anyway.
My name is Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy on Plurk, Ravelry, and just about everywhere else.
I'm Marlisha, also known as Lady Furnico on Plurk and on Ravelry, and Shadowlight or Shadowlight 1 on various other sites, mostly writing sites.
For those of you who follow us on Ravelry, well, first of all, let me welcome the new members. I need to find my list.
We have 3 new members.
No, we have 6.
6?
Since the last time.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
Yay.
Because not all the pictures show up,
Right.
so I went and looked at the member list. First one I need to welcome is Pam Candon. She didn't write down her full name. I'm assuming it's Pam. So welcome aboard, Pam. Also Tigger Girl, who is Vanessa.
I think Tigger Girl was last week.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
Not before the last podcast. Because remember, we podcasted on.
But didn't we talk about her? I bet we did. Oh, go ahead anyway. Anyway, welcome.
I know we didn't welcome Pam.
No, I know we didn't welcome Pam.
Woolly Eyes, who is Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Crafty Princess, who is Tammy. Maria Wilhelmina, who is Marriott. Marriott?
I think it's Marriott.
Marriott? Okay. I keep wanting to pronounce it like different, like French or something.
A new one since I just looked like 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, this didn't show up on the pictures, that's why.
Oh, I see.
Lynn Bell 01, who is Lynn. So everyone, welcome aboard. We're very happy to have you.
Yes, very happy. How many is it now?
86.
86 total. So 14 more to 100. So we have to start thinking about that. That's exciting.
So if you watch the podcast, you're not a part of the Ravelry group. Well, if you're not part of Ravelry, join Ravelry.
It's great.
It's a great resource for patterns.
And for help and for friendships. It's really good.
It's awesome. And then if you're on Ravelry, join the Pen Hook and Needles group. We like having conversation there. I'm not always the best at keeping up on top of it. I do try. She'll jot down messages and stuff like that too. Responses.
I respond in bunches, so you might not hear from me for a couple weeks, and then you'll hear from me all at once. And so something that's like 2 weeks old will get, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late because
I'm bummed.
Yeah. I try to keep up on it, but sometimes I want to give thought to what I'm going to say, and then I forget they're there, and I come back and, oh my gosh, I thought I said something, and I didn't, so I apologize in advance. Don't give up on us. We do care. We love you all.
And I'm just plain lazy sometimes. Anyway.
It's cold back here. That's why we look like...
Yes. It's like snowing / sleeting something outside.
Winter does not want to let go.
It's cold. We have tea. I grabbed black orange mango, I think this is. And she has chai tea because that's the only thing she ever drinks.
Well, that's what I want when it's like this.
This is my allowing myself to have something that's not water. I've started to try to drink more water for health reasons. Although I did take a big gulp of Gatorade because I felt like it. And then I drank some water. Gatorade is not poison. Regardless as to what everyone seems to think.
Because Talia knows all.
Of course I do.
She is Oracle.
Sweet. Well, is Oracle wearing her boyfriend's
I wouldn't put it past her.
True. Anyway.
He's a gentleman. Your hands were cold.
Then he cut off the fingers.
I never said he was completely gentle.
So he's walking around wearing the fingers while she's wearing the rest of the gloves. That's intelligent.
Maybe she got a hold of him and just decided she didn't like the fingers. Sorry. Yes.
If you guys remember from when I made these were the Nightwing gauntlets, and the character Nightwing from the Batman universe. He is the original Robin. When he grew up, eventually he ends up dating and eventually getting engaged to the former Batgirl, who becomes Oracle after she loses
The use of her
the
legs.
use of her legs.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
so,
Barbara Gordon, the commissioner's daughter, for those who might not know.
Yes.
That is our geek out for today.
Indeed. About the green shirts, she said that her London shirt's 20-some years old.
From when we were in London.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I heard a door open.
It's sitting in the back there.
Okay, and this one is dated about, what, 8 years ago?
Depends, did you get it your first year?
Yeah, my first year.
Yeah, about 8 years.
About 8 years ago.
She didn't know what an Illumini was.
I was a freshman in college. I really liked the color, and all I registered that had my school's name, Franciscan University, across it. So I wanted it. And my then kind of sort of boyfriend made fun of me because he's like, you know that's an alumni. You're not an alumni yet. You have to graduate first. Well, so I wore my 4 years in an alumni shirt that I didn't earn till the end. And he wore the hoodie he got the same day, which was a lavender hoodie I couldn't talk him out of, and he wore it the whole time. People remembered him as being creepy.
Yeah.
The funny thing was the guy who sat with us in a class we took together also got this hoodie his freshman year because he didn't know what alumni was. And it looked good on him because he was a redhead.
Mm-hmm.
So that was two of us who got the green hoodie because we just liked the color. They didn't have it for their non-alumni hoodies.
I don't like hoodies that don't have a zipper. So.
But yes, now I have finally, 4 years after graduation,
What? I should have worn my Franciscan one. It says Franciscan Mom.
Better than FU Mom. Yes. Franciscan University, my university, apparently before I came, they had released a bunch of shirts that said FU, Franciscan University,
Mom,
FU,
Dad.
Mom, FU, Dad.
Not the best thing for a Catholic college to have.
They didn't register for some reason before they
because
marketed
Catholic.
these things.
Catholic.
Of course, all the college students got it. And they all picked it up, of course.
And I'm sure their parents got it, too.
Yes, I'm sure they did.
But anyway.
But, yes, this has finally been earned. And the friend who has the lavender hoodie that he still, I think, every rare once in a while wears, is the one who, actually I'm going to go jump right into the project, who this project is, this whip is being made for, well, him and his wife.
Well, considering his wife is having the baby.
Yes. This is the, let me look at the name of the pattern.
Stacy Chalk. Ladybird.
It's the Hoodie Bird Blanket by Stacy Chalk. I'm calling it the Ladybird Blanket. And I am using Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. Solids in the colorway Orchid, and I'll have yellow for the beak because it's a blanket, and then it has a hood with a bird face on it, with a beak, and then 2 feet down at the bottom.
It's kind of like a bath blanket, but warmer.
Yeah.
You see those newborn bath blankets with the hood so the baby doesn't get cold in his head?
And
okay, thank you.
The bird was finished a long time ago, Ladybird. This is before I ever knew if it's a boy or a girl. Josh and Mel think that they're going to have a boy, based on the ultrasounds. And the main part of the blanket has been completed. And this is just about the color that Josh wore in college for his hoodie.
Josh is special.
He is. So Josh, who my freshman year was my boyfriend, who I couldn't talk about wearing getting a lavender hoodie, is now married to my college roommate, who I roomed with for my sophomore, junior, and senior year. So very interesting friendship there. Anyway, Mel's hair color is purple. So with Josh's lavender hoodie in mind and Mel, my former roommate's fair color being purple, obviously I had to make a purple blanket. I hated this color, not because of either of them, but just because I don't care for pale colors. I probably would have hated if it was a pale blue, too. I just don't do pale colors. I like vibrant colors. And it took me, I felt like I was going to rip my eyeballs out with the hook. But the main part's done. See? All done. Look at that.
And she feels so proud of herself. It came out square, too.
Yes, it did. It's 30 inches by 30 inches.
It's warm.
It's warm. Actually, I might lay this.
That's worsted, right?
It is worsted.
I don't know if I keep telling you. You don't want to keep that on your
lap
in
I
case
won't.
something gets spilled on it.
I won't. And I started, it looks kind of crooked right now, but it's going to have an edging. I started the hood.
Is that the top of it?
I think this is where...
Oh, it attaches maybe.
Well, it's going to attach up here.
Okay.
You see, because it grows
right.
like that.
So it is the top.
Right. Yeah, so this is like where it would be over the baby's head, I guess.
Right. Unless she closes it, it might be the point.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah.
You see it's flat, and then it comes over like that.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have a point.
No, it doesn't have a point.
Okay.
And just, I think there's going to be an edging around.
That'll be pretty.
So.
Is that double crochet?
No, it's single.
Oh, okay.
It's just that she's having me work in the front loops.
Oh.
So, I'm going to work on this when I have jury duty on Tuesday.
So she says.
That is the plan, anyway. Whoops, I need to put the actual blanket in here. But I have till the end of April to finish this, which is good.
That's when the
That's when the baby shower is. And Mel, it happens to be my weekend off, and Mel said that they'll find a way for me to get down there, even if Josh has to drive down and pick me up. So, because I don't like driving places, because I fall asleep on the road. So if it's any distance, I don't go unless I have a ride.
Which is a wise idea.
But
okay. All right, I did a little work on my Nicole blanket, but not enough to be bringing it out here, so I'm going to move into something different. I continue to work on my Colorful Dreams, which is from the Senna Shawl pattern by Marilyn Lynx, and I'm knitting this.
Marilena Lynx, isn't it?
Marilyn? Oops.
No, it's Marilena. Marilena Lynx.
I think I copied it right from the pattern.
No, it's 2 names, Mom.
All right, I'll have to look because I copied it right from the pattern.
Yeah, Marilena Lynx.
All right, well, Marilena Lynx. I'm in this for Davina and for the Autism Awareness Cal, and I'm using US 6s, which I have not changed here yet, in the rainbow colorway, and No Maker's Skein Dipper yarn in orange. I made quite a bit of progress on this. I tore this out about 5 times after since the last podcast. I also inserted a waist yarn. This is the first one I did, and it was a bear to put in. You can see it's a large, it's worsted yarn, so that's probably why it was so hard to put in. And then I tried putting in another lifeline, and it was so hard, I ended up tinking back because I just couldn't see, the stitches got all twisted. So what I did was a different method, which was to tape the waist yarn to the needle and to go ahead and knit it in, which was a lot better. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, because this is actually a lighter yarn. It's right up at the top there. You can see the white yarn.
You're out of screen, that's why they can't see it.
Well, it's at the top.
Yeah, but you took yourself completely out of the screen.
Okay. I can't
there,
see it.
I can see it. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I made quite a bit of progress because I have tinked back several times to this point, which was not, I was way down here, I think, when I first showed you, at the yellow.
She's made a lot of progress.
So I did a lot of progress on this. I enjoy the pattern for this. Once I figured out what I was doing, it was fine. And it's moving along quickly. I like it. Davina has commented a couple times on it. Excuse me, on it. So I think she'll like it. And if she doesn't, I'll keep it. So, and I'm on I think I have 83 stitches or 84 stitches, 85 stitches, something like that. On this so far out of 273, and that's not just one row of 273. You have to do 2 rows, a knit and a purl. So I have a way to go with it, but I'm having fun with it. And like I said, I am using I'm using 6s instead of the 4s called for, and I think it's a 32-inch cord. And the yarn is Plymouth Yarn Stiletto Sock in the Nemours or Rainbow colorway. So I'm enjoying it so far.
This leads on to the next project I'm working on.
Lois's bag.
And mine's in a little bag.
Knitting's my bag. Small.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Let me put this.
No, yours was in a Pullover bag.
My colorful pullover bag. I had another project in here. I said I didn't want to use the yarn for that. So I'm doing the same pattern Mom is. Marilena Lynx's. The Senna shawl.
You doing on 4s or 6s?
I'm doing on 6s. And I'm using my pretty yarn from, I think it's Chaotic.
No, it's Rainbow R.
It's Kimberly R.
Kimberly R.
It's Kimberly R. In the Rainbow Gradient colorway. And I'm using US 6s.
And right now it looks like she's still on the red.
Well, the red will be for a while because it takes a while to get.
Yeah. And it's a gradient as opposed to a striping, so it'll take a while. It'll be interesting. It'll look kind of like a gradual.
Yeah. And because I think there's a lot of yarn here, I think I'll be able to do the crochet edge in this yarn as well. So
I think I could do that in mine as well, but I think I want to do another color anyway.
Mm.
And if you decided differently, you could always do that red yarn that you offered me for the waist yarn.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't like the yarn. I don't like the way it feels.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it has orange that's hidden. You can kind of see it sticking out the back. So
she had a bear of a time getting it reskein.
Yeah, it was a pain.
Because she was working from both ends and it got all tangled up.
Yeah, and then getting it to skein up tightly enough was difficult as well. So,
but she's made a fair amount of progress because you've only started when?
I've only worked on it twice.
Well, when did you start? A couple days ago?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then I didn't work on it
for a while.
Rows go quickly.
Yeah, they do. Once you know what you're doing.
And the fact that I like the way the yarn works up helps. I really did when I was doing the Nightwing shawl with Nightwing yarn. I just didn't. I couldn't see myself wearing that kind of camo in a shawl.
Yeah.
I could see it in a toy or something, maybe, but not in a shawl like I had.
A blanket or something, or gloves or something. But
yeah,
it would have been. I like the colorway a lot. I wish it striped.
Yeah,
it would have been pretty. But it's very, very pretty, just not for a shawl in our the way we like things.
So your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I had to put this project in 2 bags because I've got part of it in my knitting's my bag, owl bag, and part of it in my
we never told people to get their teeth.
Go get your teeth. Sorry.
Pause us, go grab your tea.
Or whatever it is you like.
Yes, we've been drinking in front of you.
Very rude of us. We do apologize. Knitting's my bag's owl bag, and in not Scientific. I can't think of her name.
Oh,
I love her bags.
Glass. I know who you're talking about too.
I do apologize. I'll have to remember to put it on the link, but she makes a really good bag too, and I have 2 of them, and I've even gotten some for Davina. So we do use her a lot. She's got a good bag.
I was just looking at bags on Etsy too, and
what is her name?
It's gone. I
can't remember what it is.
Does she have a tag?
No, she doesn't have a tag. And she's super, super sweet. I just can't remember her name.
Yeah,
but
it's gone.
I can't remember. It'll probably come to me in the middle of the podcast, and I go, oh, so-and-so. And everybody will go, okay then. Ease back on the caffeine. Okay, I'm using No Makers sock yarn.
It looks different in this light.
In the Aurora No Mialis. Okay. And I have 2 skeins of this. I don't know if I'll have to use both of them. And I'm also using, I love this yarn in the Limelight? Hobby Lobby Limelight colorway, which is, might be better if I just took the project out to show you, in this color. Okay, this is what I was working on. Actually, I don't think I was even working on this before.
I can't remember.
This is the bottom. Okay, of the sea turtle. This is going to be huge.
Did you mention the pattern title?
The pattern title is The Turtle Pillow by Sania Devlon. She's the one I did the owl for my buttons. Buttons the owl, that was her pattern. I love her patterns. So this is the bottom of it, and I call it right now Sammy the Sea Turtle. If anybody has a better name, feel free to post it on the...
Feel free?
3. 3. 3. Beautiful.
Tree.
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 A tree. Feel free to post it on the podcast thread for this week if you have a name for Sammy, because it's okay. It works. But I'd like something a little better than just Sammy, the sea turtle. So this is the bottom. It's huge. Okay. I finished that in the limelight. Then I started on the top. And the top is a little bit tricky. This is a free pattern, so I can tell you a little bit about it.
I didn't know it was free.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah. I don't have it. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's a free pattern.
You showed it last time.
Anyway, I think this does barber pulling. Barber pulling. It's a really interesting kind of stitch. It's a little fiddly when you start it. You have 2 different loops of colors that you work, and you can see the Aurora Nominalis and the Limelight. They kind of alternate.
You have the wrong end facing.
I don't think they can still see it alternating. It's just
but they need the.
I just want to get this untangled a little bit. All right.
They need this end facing.
Okay. This gives you a better idea of what it looks like. Okay, and that's going to be the shell. And I had it a lot further than I am now, but I went ahead and ripped back a little bit because I got confused as to where I had marked it. And, excuse me, kind of like I did here. I marked it with an extra stitch marker on top like this, so I know that's the last one I did. But when I got back to it, I couldn't remember. Excuse me, I think I'm coming down with a cold.
Oh, don't give it to me.
I marked it with this to remind myself that this was one of the loops, but I couldn't remember if it was one had last worked with or was one I was supposed to start up with. And so I started up with it and realized it was the wrong one, so I had to rip back, because the one I want to start with is this one down here, because it makes this nice little.
You need to have a better system on it.
Well, it's the only way to do it. If you look at the other girl who's doing, I can't remember who it is, who's doing the barber pulling, Stacey Trock's thing. She has all these.
No, I mean you need a better system to determine which one you're working on. Are you marking the one you last worked on or the one?
Oh, that's why I figured it out. That's this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the new one, and they work actually over the stitch. They'll work over this.
Totally still.
She's very, yeah. Am I boring you too much? Anyway, so this is how far I've gotten on the shell. Not very far. I hope to get further when I see it. But I would love to have.
And it's a really cute turtle.
It is adorable. I would love suggestions for names. You know how bad I am about taking suggestions, but I do love suggestions. So
it's like you guys do for whether or not she actually.
It helps me. I think it was Knitting in Circles who said. I think Darren said to her, that's her husband, right, Darren?
Yeah.
Said to her that you're not going to take the suggestions, or you never take the suggestions. She said, no, I just needed to bounce ideas off. That's kind of like I am.
Well, it doesn't help anyway, because he goes for whatever one it is to make it so it's a draw. He does it on purpose.
That's not helpful.
Uh-huh.
You need to smack him on the side of the head.
I think that's what he said the one time I was listening.
I think that's what he said, yeah.
Because it'll be like close, so he'll go for the side that looks like it's less, to make it so it's even.
He feels bad for it.
He makes it even, so she really does have to make the decision after all.
He needs to be flipped.
But why are you flicking me? Flick him. Wow, Mom, look, it's getting heavier.
Yeah, it is. It's snowing out here, so if she was out here because she made you do something, maybe Darren's here, I can just kind of flip him. He can take the hit.
Literally?
Literally.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm enjoying the turtle very much. It's not a difficult, it's just a little fiddly with all the stitches. And I'm a little curious to see how she's going to be doing the limbs and the head, because it doesn't look like a standard, you make the limbs and then sew it on. It looks like you might actually crochet it into the fabric. So that looks interesting. I think that'll be neat. I don't care for sewing, so that might work better for me. I do like the fact that when we put the 2 shell pieces together, she slip stitches it together instead of sewing it, which makes me happy. So
slip stitch is still sewing.
No, you stick the hook in and you actually slip stitch.
Oh, slip stitch. Okay. All right.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, then. Moving on.
Indeed.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, yes, what I'm working on right now. This is a study in scarlet. I've slowed down a little bit on it, but this is a Aloha
It is snowing.
by Mel Ski, Single-Handed Knits Podcast. I'm using US 6. These are my knit picks. And I'm using Stonehenge Fiber Mill Shepherd's Wool in the garnet colorway.
And these are your metal knit picks.
Yes, which I've come to vastly prefer. It probably won't look to you guys like I've done much progress, but after this one section, I get to start Clue 3, which everyone else has probably already done.
Except for Knit Nerd. She's just starting tomorrow or today.
Is she really?
Yeah, I was watching her podcast. She just posted it last night, and she's saying that she was funny. She said something effective.
I'm way behind on my podcast.
She's funny. She said something effective. I know I keep saying I'm going to start it. She said, I'm going to start it, but I haven't had a chance. I'm going to start it tomorrow. So that means today. So.
Okay, I need to catch up on podcasts. I'm so behind on all my podcasts.
She makes me laugh. She's so funny.
She is funny. So this is so far. It's, as you can see, it's starting to get some real length to it. I have after I finish this the small section I'm working on, I do the last buttonhole and I start on the sleeves.
It's very pretty. I'm sorry, I was looking at it and thinking to myself, because it looks like a real sweater now, and all I could think of in my head was, that muscle is a real person.
Wow.
We were watching Fiddler on the Roof the other day, so.
So I'm very happy with the progress of this. I put this aside to focus on the baby blanket, which is why I haven't worked on this in a while.
And Mel is very easygoing by that kind of thing.
Yeah, it took me a second. I'm like, Mel. Oh, you're talking about the designer Mel, not my former roommate Mel, for who I'm making the baby blanket.
And we have another Mel in our group too now.
Oh, do we?
Melissa, another Melissa.
Mel's and Melissa's, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I made some progress on it.
And it looks very pretty. It's a very vibrant, not a fire engine red.
It's a garnet red.
Yeah, it's garnet,
which is my birthstone anyway.
Yes, and mine. Okay. I have one more thing, and I really don't have much to show for it. I stopped working on my Downton Abbey shawl. I didn't frog it. I'm not quitting it. I just don't want to do it right now. Yes, it is snowing.
I'm sorry, I really love watching the show, and I don't get to when I'm up on a night shift schedule.
Yes, and you are prolonging the agony for these poor people by...
Okay, well, you keep talking. I'm going to stare at this now.
Anyway, I decided to go ahead and do a different one. It's called the Confetti Shawl by Anastasia Knits, who is Anastasia. I think her last name is Sattel. And she's from Anastasia Knits Designs. Check out her podcast group. She's really fantastic. I haven't gotten
I'm going to turn the screen around 1 second.
You're not going to be able to see the snow.
Yes, it will.
I don't think so.
No?
No, it's just glaring. You can't see the snow.
Sad.
It's
so
really,
happy.
it's starting to snow pretty heavy down there.
It's so happy.
It's called the Confetti Shawl. I don't have another name for this yet. I just haven't thought about it. And you can see
it's looking very nice. Which yarn is this again?
This is No Maker's sock yarn.
No, it's not sock. It's worsted.
I'm sorry, it is worsted. 100%. Is it superwash merino? I don't have the.
It's Hawkeye colorway.
It's Hawkeye colorway. I love this. I do not have the ball band with me or the skein band with me.
I didn't care what it was made out of. I just wanted to know the colorway.
It is Hawkeye. And I'm just waiting for a response from Anastasia on a question I had. She already responded once, and I'm waiting for a clarification. She writes a very clear pattern, but I'm stupid when it comes to patterns. So I asked her a question, and I'm waiting for her response before I decide if I can just move on from here or if I have to tear back and start over again, which is fine. I'm only this far. And her patterns are really easy. And you can see it's a very tight. Like I said, it's a very tight.
If you read comics, or if you watch the
New Avengers,
TV show,
the movie.
No, I'm talking about the TV show for the colors, because he doesn't have the proper colors. If you are
what TV show?
It's called Worlds. I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah, I want to see that.
But if you watch that TV show, it's put out by Disney, I want to say.
Probably, because I think Disney bought Marvel, I think.
But
or DC or whatever one.
Hawkeye's uniform in that is this purple color here. And it is like dead on for his purple that he wears in that show.
And the blue and the black?
The blue and the black, I don't have as much of an explanation for it, but that purple is perfect.
Yeah, so this is Hawkeye, and this is going to be very warm. My idea was I needed a warm shawl, and I'm just going to do this pattern because Anastasia's patterns for her shawls are really fantastic because they're adjustable. She makes them so you can make them as big or as small as you want. And I'm just going to keep going until the yarn runs out because I don't want to leave any. And I told Talia if it gets to be too huge, and I think I said this in the last podcast, for those of you who watched last week, you probably remember.
You didn't have this.
No, but I talked about it.
Oh, okay.
I might make another pair of these, a different pair, but a pair like these to go with the shawl.
These things get worn out just because we wear them so often.
I wear these all the time.
I have like loose ends popping up all over this, and where I snagged it.
It's piling like crazy, but that's okay.
Well, I have like snags. And
yeah, well, yours is a little more open than mine is. Look at mine.
Yeah.
So this is called the Confetti Shawl by Anastasia Zattel. I'm using an H hook and No Maker's worsted weight yarn, the Hawkeye colorway. I didn't do a lot of work on this. Like I said, I'm waiting for her response about a question. But it's a fun pattern. It's going to be very warm, and I'm super excited about it.
Tissue box
because I want to be able to get to it, and you might need to get to it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my works in progress. I have other works in progress, but I haven't done any work on them. So.
And I have a work in project, which is I can't stand to work on this blanket anymore. Well, actually, what happened was
Blanket.
What happened was I was on Facebook and I happened to follow the designer's name. I happened to follow Kate E. Hancock and her designs on Facebook as well as on Ravelry. And I happened to see an update on Facebook where she had a pattern update for her Bramble, the bunny pattern.
Oh, he's adorable.
And you remember Bramble from when I made Oops.
Oopsie-ee.
Oopsie-ee.
This is Oopsie-ee. He's adorable. And her patterns are adorable.
Oh, her patterns are just precious.
What are her patterns? What's her name again?
It's Katie E. Hancock.
Yeah, you might want to check her out if you like to make toys and things, because she is fantastic.
And she's very good about, like, I didn't get my updates, so I messaged her, and she made sure that I got my updates.
Very approachable.
So there's her original pattern.
You're kind of crooked there. There you go.
And here's Oopsie.
Oopsie.
So I am making another one, just because I got my update, I was like, I have to make it, because I'm so sick of this blanket. So...
That would be the baby blanket.
The baby blanket, yes. I started with the head because this is worsted yarn. I must not have read the pattern when I first did Oopsie.
Is this DK?
No, this is worsted. I just didn't read the pattern.
Well, what do you mean?
It's supposed to be worsted with. It's supposed to be DK with an E hook. I did worsted with an E hook.
Oh dear, that's why it's smaller. Okay.
So I realized that it's supposed to be worsted, so I just did an H hook, which is what I normally do with stuffed toys where I'm using worsted. Here's the head. This toy is going to be a lot bigger than Oopsie.
Yes, it is.
I decided I want to do black, because for some reason a black bunny just sounds super cute to me.
What's his name?
His name is Soot. And I'm just using Hobby Lobby.
Well, look at the size here. Here's Oops, CE, and show her the head.
I know. Let's get the body.
You can see he's already, and he's not even stuffed yet.
Yeah, he's not even stuffed, and let's turn him around.
We need the ears to really get it good.
Yeah, the ears will give you a really good idea, even though that gave you some with...
The ears will be better, though, because you can see where the ears hang. They hang to his feet. Look at the size of this ear.
This ear is ginormous. So,
because it's a Franken bunny.
I have finished the head, the body, one ear, and I am almost done with the other ear. Or I'm halfway through the other ear.
And that's almost an Oops ear already. Yes, okay. Do you have a mark? Make sure you don't lose it.
Yeah. Oops. I hadn't realized when I stuffed in the bag that I hadn't marked my stitch.
That's almost as big as Oops is here already.
Yeah, it is. And this is definitely not done yet. Wow, Mom.
It is really coming down.
It is.
I wish you could see it. It looks like Christmas outside. It's not sticking.
No,
it's
but
warm.
it's definitely falling.
Snowing.
So I'm very happy with Soot. I'm tempted to make another bunny, a light brown bunny, but I might just make another one of her patterns. Or I might, I don't know, finish my pony. The good thing about her patterns, though, is that they're really quick to work up. I finished...
Kind of like Stacy Trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is me working on it this week and not working on it all the time.
I mean, she has an adorable little moose pattern that I'm sitting there now that I've seen it, and I've got Stacy Trucks in one hand, and I've got hers in the other. I'm like, which one do I make? Because they're both adorable.
She's got a seal that I think is so precious.
She had, what is that? What is it? It's got great big. All of them have big eyes, but I can't remember what was sealed. But it was. I showed it to you, not the hippo.
The hippo's really cute too.
Yeah, you just check out her. If you like making stuffed toys, like Sun Country, you might want to check her out because she's got some dynamite patterns. Who's the lady? Is it Tigger who's doing the bear?
Yeah, no. Oh, it's someone else who's doing the bear. I forget who's doing the bear.
Whoever you are, who's doing the...
She's doing a Stacy Trock bear.
The one who's doing the Stacy Trock bear. I thought it was Tigger Girl, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it's Tigger.
Whoever you are, if you're watching, you need to check out this girl, Katie
Katie
A. Hancock. She's really good
for
patterns.
I mean, just look up Bramble Bunny and then you can follow the designer.
Right. Or go to Taya's site. You can find it.
And Oops CE, he's made using maple praline, the same as my grandpa's sweater.
Yeah. The never-ending yarn that we have of maple praline.
Good old Oopsie.
Hi, Oopsie. He's cute. Okay. Is he your last?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any finished objects. Do you?
No, I don't. I thought for a second, I thought I'd be so close to finishing Soot, but didn't get Soot finished.
I would have been a lot further, I think, on my shawl if I hadn't had to tear back so many times. But that leads us to the autism awareness, Cal, which means we have to see our mascot. Happy says hello. Rainbow says hello. They send happy sunshiny kisses to everybody who's taking part. They thank you. Autism awareness, Cal, is going well. We have 6 or 7 projects, I think, in the FO thread, which is great. Mm-hmm. You can, just in case you don't know, in case we forgot to mention it, you can enter multiple times. Mm-hmm. You don't just need one project. So if you want to do half a dozen, do half a dozen. If you do a square that's meant to be a pot holder or a a dishcloth or something like that, enter it. That would be fine. Okay.
As long as it has 3 bright colors.
3 bright colors in it. Okay. So please feel free, your small projects, your big projects, as long as they have 3 bright colors, as long as they were not started before February 1st, and they are finished before the end of April 31st. 31st? 30 days have April 30th. I think there's only 30 days in April.
30 days has September,
April, June, and November. Okay, so 30 days. So by midnight, April 30th. Okay? We're not going to be policing it. If Taya or I do not close the thread until early May 1st and you slide it in, that's fine. But we want you to get done by April 30th if at all possible. I asked Davina. Those of you who have been following us know that Davina is my other daughter. She has Asperger's syndrome, which is an autistic spectrum disorder. She did come here, joined us here a couple podcasts ago to show us her project, a scarf that she had made for one of her aunts that I wish she could put in, but she can't. So she's very thrilled to be part of it. But anyway, I asked her to write about what it's like to be an adult with Asperger's syndrome. Okay? And so she did. And I'm going to read it to you. Please excuse my voice. I'm losing it a little bit. I'm going to read it to you exactly as she wrote it. Okay? It's not very long. If you don't want to hear this, please feel free to fast forward through it. But I thought this might be interesting to some of you who might like to get an idea of
it is from the inside.
What it is from somebody who quote unquote suffers from
Who
Asperger's, who lives through it day by
Yeah.
day. Okay, this is what she says. My name is Davina Fernandez. I'm 27 years old, looking at 28. She'll be 28 next 2 months from now, and I have Asperger's syndrome. I must say that having Asperger's syndrome can be a pain for me sometimes. Like sometimes I have a monstrously hard time with focusing on very important things like saying my prayers or listening to the Mass. And I also can have a hard time focusing when it comes to reading books, and I tend to sometimes let my brain go idle and stare off into space while my mind wanders. And another thing, it makes me act younger than I actually am, which is probably why people treat me like a child. This drives her crazy because my daughter, Davina, is extremely intelligent. She's intelligent enough to know that something is not right. She, with her developmental delays, with her Asperger's, with all the things that she has going on, she's quite aware that her sister has passed her up in certain things and will do things that she might not ever get to do, probably will never get to do, and that's hard for her. Let me go on. And she has a little sad face after treats me like a child. Almost breaks my heart, okay? But there are some good points to having this disability too. Mom always encourages me to think of it as a way for me to work as hard as I can to go to heaven. Makes me cry. Also, I think that having Asperger's syndrome gives me special gifts and talents. She is an amazing artist, and she's very talented in music and in writing. If we could only channel that a little more productively, she could do a lot of things with that, I think. Plus, even though I sometimes resent the fact that it makes me act younger than I actually am, sometimes I like the idea because I really do enjoy being young at heart. And here she has a big smiley face. You know, there are times when I have a really rough time and I resent the fact that I have Asperger's syndrome. But there are other times when I don't think very much about my disability. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, all of you guys out there with Asperger's syndrome, try not to let it worry you. God gave us this disability for a good reason, to try harder and to go to heaven and to be happy forever. God bless. And that is Davina in a nutshell. And, you know,
And we must caught her on a good day there.
Yes, she has better days and she has worse days, just like anybody else. I think I mentioned before, many Asperger's individuals do not just have Asperger's alone. Davina has developmental delays, and she has never been diagnosed with mood swings, but I think she has mood swings, and she, ADD and all kinds of things. And she has some days that are better than others. Sometimes she gets extremely frustrated because she knows she's an adult and doesn't feel like she's being treated as such. But she's a good kid. She has a good faith, and I was really happy that she was agreed to do this for us. You get a window of what one person's life is like with Asperger's. Do you have anything on the?
No, not really. I think that the only thing I could think of. No, I'm not gonna give an update on everything that's been going on. I want to focus on
Okay, we're going to go ahead and bypass the obsessions, which are basically the same anyway. This time, because I would like to leave that kind of as the
ending note.
Ending note.
There will be some pictures at the end when I figure out how to put them in.
Yeah, we'll have some pictures at the beginning and the end.
But I think at the end. I think at the end. My dad is an artist, and he has done several paintings of Davina, which are kind of a window into her as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very they catch something.
Yeah,
they catch something. The only thing I would like to do, I'm not going to go into my writing at this point. It
just doesn't feel
important right at this point. I do want to do the thank yous though, because it is important. Excuse me. I contacted Anastasia Zattel from Anastasia Knits to ask her if I could, and it does have to do with the cowl, to ask her if I could post a blurb about our autism awareness cowl. It's okay to be different in her group. And she said, of course. And she said, of course, you know that I'm up for the 3 patterns for prizes. So she is very generous. So those of you who did the, was it the 50 member?
It was 50 member.
Those of you who won the 50 member prizes know what kind of design she does. They're fantastic. And she has offered 3 prizes, any of her patterns, 1 for each of 3 winners of this group of this cow.
So that gives us a total of 6.
So it gives us a total of 6 prizes so far for this cow. I'm very grateful to Anastasia for doing it. It's awesome. She's always working on new patterns, and so you might want to check out her group and see what she's doing. She is at Anastasia Knit Design. You can check out her shop, which is www.etsy.com/search/shops?search, query equals Anastasia Knits. Or just look up Anastasia Knits.
That'd be a whole heck of a lot easier.
I want to reiterate my thanks for Ploverbird and Lois. You can find them both at bigcartel.com. That's where their shops are. And Knitting's My Bag also has a group on Ravelry. Just look for Knitting's My Bag. So a big thank you to all 3 of them. Thank you for everyone who is participating. Please, please, please feel free to let people know about this cow. The more people who participate, the better. We have a lot of prizes. I'd love to give them out to several different people. So please feel free to put as many offerings in as you can and get other people to do the same. We'd love to have them.
All right, that's just about everything. As soon as we get off of here, I'm going to try to figure out how to put at the end this podcast episode, Dad's Paintings with Davina.
Right.
So thank you for watching, and we will see you
in a week or so. God bless.
God bless.
Bye-bye.